Hey everybody, how we doing? John Anthony, Chair Shot Sports, a Sport Coin affiliate, as always powered by Zoa Energy. Guys, if you watched us a little earlier, we were on an interview with Shaza McKenzie. Thank you so much for tuning in if you did, but we got to talk about this weekend. March 1st, Toronto, Elimination Chamber, probably one of the biggest PLEs ever in regards to the Elimination Chamber event. I can't talk about this by myself. I need a lot of people to come in. I need a lot of other opinions and a lot of other eyes on this. So let me introduce you to the panel. Bringing in first a cohort of mine from the Chair Shot Media Group, the host of the Suds and Squared Circle. That would be my man, Vinny. Vinny, how's it going?
It's going good, John. Nice to be back on a wrestling podcast. I've been so engrossed with soaps lately that
yeah, but you guys have been killing it over there, man. There's a lot going on, man.
So there is a lot, yes, especially with Beyond the Gates premiering this week. So
yep,
we've got a lot.
I'm glad to have you back. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And also a good friend of the show who doesn't always get to come on a lot, but has a little bit more time on his hands now. Football is over. Member of the Believe Network. Anything Orioles and Ravens, this is your man you want to listen to. My man, Matt Trigger. Matt, how's it going?
What's going on, John? Vinny, it's good to be back and talking some wrestling, for my monthly venture over to Chair Shot Sports. I always look forward to talking to you. We actually talk quite often off air, but it's good to get back on the screen with you.
Me and Matt are definitely talking like almost on a daily basis with wrestling and things going on like that. So absolutely.
I love it. This is the best time of the year.
Yes. And as always, you folks know who this girl is. She's usually with me at least 3-4 times a week. She co-hosts some of my shows. I co-host with her. It's a tag team kind of thing. We still need to buy the belts. Nobody's sending us anything for our GoFundMe. Princess Skywalker, Jessie B. Jessie, how's it going?
Hello again. How's everybody tonight?
We saw each other a little bit ago, a couple hours.
I feel like we just did this maybe just earlier today, but I'm not too sure.
Awesome. So last but certainly not least, a new face coming to the show. I'm so excited to have her on. Former writer for Sportskeeda, an awesome wrestling mind, my good friend Mona. Mona, how's it going? Welcome to Chair Shot Media. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Don't forget to acknowledge your tribal chief, Cody Rhodes.
Always. So, guys, like I said, this PLE, this Elimination Chamber, so many moving parts. We have the Cody Rock storyline. This is John Cena's last ever Elimination Chamber. So many things going on. So let's just start at the bottom. We'll work our way up to the top, and we'll talk our way through all of it. Sound good?
Good.
Heard.
Awesome. So we'll start with the tag team match here. We got Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton taking on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. A great tag team. I think the match is going to be great. Obviously, Trish being home, it's going to be good. I think I see the baby faces here going over. It's just a feel-good kind of moment. I think it might open the show, kind of get the crowd going, get everyone in a great mood. That's why I kind of see a win going here. But I think the match itself is going to be great. Tiffany and Nia, anytime they're in the ring, is good. Candice is great, and Trish, I've loved Trish since the day I've started watching wrestling. I got to meet her a couple years ago. She's an awesome person, great soul. So with that being said, the match, I have the baby faces. I have Trish and Tiffany going over here in a great match. I'm going to start with the newcomer. I'm going to start with Mona. Mona, how do you see things going on in the match?
I agree with you on kind of seeing the baby faces in this match winning, but I do believe they're allowing Candice to actually shine this time. I know she's kind of just been a part of a group, but I think it's going to be really nice to actually see her perform in this type of setting and to be teamed up with Nia and then being against the TSs. I think it's honestly going to be an epic showdown, and we actually see what Candice has to offer at this point.
No, I agree. I think sometimes when she is in tag matches, it's kind of here and there, running back away, tagging in Nia. I think it's going to be a good time for her to shine. I agree with that. Vinny, what are your thoughts?
I have to really applaud the fact that Candice LeRae is actually going to be on a PLE outside of the Royal Rumble, because for a long time now, she's kind of been that secondary, she'll be a manager, but to have her in the match, I would probably believe that Nia and Candice go over in this match simply because I feel like Charlotte is going to end up getting involved and building up the heat for her and Tiffany at Mania. That would be my guess. I got to go with Nia and Candice in this match.
All right. Awesome. Jesse, what are some of your thoughts as far as how you see the match going down?
I think I'm gonna side with the majority here and say that I see the baby faces going over. I just think they brought Trish into this for a reason. They brought her into her hometown. She's gonna be the hometown favorite. I think they're gonna give her and Tiffany the rub, definitely, to have Trish go over in her hometown. Love that woman. She is just as gorgeous now as she was 25 years ago when she debuted.
So
Like a fine wine. I'm telling you, man. Every time I see her, it's like she gets younger. It's wild.
Mhm.
Awesome. Certainly, last but not least, Matt, what are your thoughts?
As much as I want to agree with everybody, I think they might kind of swerve us and let Nia and Candice go over to kind of set up something with Nia and Trish at Mania. To maybe be a lower card match, because Tiffany's obviously going to be facing Charlotte, and Rhea's going to face the winner of the Elimination Chamber that they're not participating in. So if you want to get Trish on the Mania card and you want to have Nia have a prominent spot, I think that could be a way you go. Personally,
Awesome.
it makes sense for Trish to go over in Toronto, obviously, and I know that people want to see her win, but I can honestly see her eating the pin in her hometown and then challenging Nia for a spot at Mania.
Awesome. So let me go around real quick. Do you think we see Trish at Mania in a spot in a match somewhere, maybe on night one?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
guys
Yep.
think so?
Yes.
Awesome. If so, who's the opponent?
Nia.
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 I could see it
Okay.
being that.
Awesome. All right, cool. Awesome. So before we get into the chamber matches, we'll start with the unsanctioned match. This match has so much juice because there's so
love
much history between these two. I'm so excited for this match. I think it's going to steal the show, to be honest with you. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, unsanctioned. If you watched Raw last night, the interview that Sami gave, obviously Kevin Owens giving his car testimonials and car confessions. It just, there's so much between these guys, from Ring of Honor to NXT, up and down the road, and Raw and SmackDown. This is tough. I mean, I don't even know if I don't really care who wins. I just think this match is going to be cinema for the two of them. I think KO kind of gets a win here. I just keep picking KO. I think he's so hot right now. I picked him to beat Cody. I thought that was the time to do it. But I just think KO gets it here. I think no one's going to win. These guys are going to be beaten, bloodied. This is going to be an amazing match up and down the card, up and down the arena. So I have KO win it. That's who I think is going to win, but you never know what could happen. Matt, what are your thoughts on this match? What do you think we're going to get with this?
I think it's probably going to be a show-stealing kind of match. Even though the chamber matches are always really good, and there's always a couple high spots in both matches, but these two have such great chemistry. Obviously, from their days in Ring of Honor all the way through their NXT was probably one of the best feuds with those guys that has been in the history of that show. And I think if you want to keep Kevin hot, you let him win. You give him the win. Even though Sami could use it, but KO just made Cody look like an absolute rock star at the Royal Rumble. So
Yeah,
I think he's due for a PLE win.
and I almost feel like Sammy's one of those characters too. And he's kind of in the same category as Jey Uso, where you can take that L and you're still going to come out and they're gonna chant with the music.
Right.
They're going to go crazy, still cheer you, even in the eye of a loss. Vinny, what are some of your thoughts?
I've been a KO fan ever since he debuted in NXT. I didn't watch their Ring of Honor stuff because I never really got into Ring of Honor, but ever since NXT, I've been a huge KO fan, and he has done so much, over his career. And I have to agree, to keep him hot, give him the win. I'm wondering why they're doing this on Elimination Chamber instead of Mania. And wondering what the plan is for them at Mania. If Mania is going to be the main blow off, what could be hotter than this an unsanctioned match? But I've got to go with Kevin Owens. Sami could eat the pin and still be over. KO is over, but he needs some steam after losing to Cody at the Rumble.
I agree with that. Kind of get back on get out the shine, get back on the winning record. Exactly. Mona, what are your thoughts on the match?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Sammy on this one. To be honest with you, I actually think the opposite. I feel like they. I don't want to say the opposite, but I do feel like they're both hot regardless. I do think Randy Orton's gonna come out and get involved in this match and
Yeah.
try to figure out how to make them friends again, because it seems like obviously we know they're close, they were close, and then now they completely fell apart ever since the whole Cody winning the championship and who helped who, and obviously everything that happened after that. But I do believe Randy Orton's going to come out. And just to touch on what Vinny said, I know it is a WrestleMania match, but they're looking at it as they're both from Canada, so it's going to get such a huge pop. They're going to get that audience and so involved in it. It's going to be not just
Oh,
hot
yeah.
in the ring, but outside the ring. But I am going with Sammy on this one because I do believe Sammy. And I'm reaching out a little bit further than I know we're in the beginning of 2025, but I do believe as even if he loses, even if Sami Zayn loses in 2026, I believe Sami Zayn's gonna be a world champion.
Ooh, I like it.
I like that a
All
lot.
right. Awesome. That's a good call. I like that. Calling your shot. I like it. Jesse B, what are some of your thoughts on?
Simona, you beat me to the Randy Orton getting involved, because that definitely is something that I have
Great
on my
minds think
bingo
alike.
card. Yeah, is Randy Orton getting involved. And I think the main reason Randy Orton gets involved here is because they're going to set up a match between Randy Orton and KO at WrestleMania. And it's
There
going to
we
be
go.
retribution for Kevin Owens putting Randy on the shelf for the last couple of months. So I definitely think this match is going to be fantastic. These two just have the most amazing chemistry between the two of them because they've known each other for so long. They're best friends. They know each other and they've got the chemistry. So they'll be able to work this match and make this match flow really well. It's going to be brutal. It's definitely going to be a brutal match, but I think Randy Orton does get involved in one way or another. Whether it's during the match or after the match, Randy Orton will come back. And I think it is going to set up something between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania.
That is great. The ladies got us, guys. That is perfect stuff. They were sharing a brain on this. Randy Orton, why did I even think of that? That's awesome. That's probably what's going to happen. Awesome. I do like it. And anytime Randy can get back on the screen and get in that ring, I'm here for it because Randy is amazing in between the ropes.
One of the
Awesome.
greatest to ever do it.
Absolutely. Awesome. So, ladies first, we will start with the ladies elimination chamber match. Bailey, Naomi, Alexa, Liv, Bianca, and Rox. Roxanne is good. I'm excited to see Roxanne in the elimination chamber. I think this is going to be a great showcase for her. The way they've been taking care of her ever since she's come up kind of the main roster, but still doing her thing in NXT. She's been doing a great job. They've been doing a great job with the character and taking their time with it. This is tough. It's almost like we were talking about the Rumble last month when we did these shows. Like, who's going to win? This is tough. I look at it, and I'm sure a lot of you look at it the same way, kind of like who doesn't win, what they're going to do, who they kind of get involved with in the chamber, leads into the matches after that. I want to go on a limb here. I think Alexa takes this win. I think Alexa wins this chamber match. I'm not saying it's because she just came back and things like that, but I think she gets this match. I'm looking at the other ones: Bailey and Roxanne, Bianca, Naomi getting involved with Jade. They just lost their belts. Roxanne and Bailey have a little bit of a thing going. They can do something down the road. Obviously, Liv is now a tag team champion. I think Alexa's the odd one out here who kind of gets a win, kind of punches her ticket, and puts her back in the main event. But those are just my thoughts. Who do I know? I'm just a podcaster. Vinny, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts about who takes the win here in the elimination chamber for the women?
I tend to almost agree with Alexa. You're right. She's the only one that really doesn't have a story right now. Bianca and Naomi, they're going to be, whether they're going against each other at Mania, because I'm sorry, I don't care what that tape shows. I still say Bianca is the one that attacked Jade. And, it's going to be Bianca and Jade or Bianca and Naomi or one of the combination of those three at Mania. And Liv just got the tag titles with Raquel. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Alexa.
Awesome.
I just hope they don't do anything with the Wyatt Sixes, because that's where all roads for Alexa kind of lead. I just hope they don't do anything with them during the match.
See, again, I kind of bounce off of that. I think obviously everyone's expecting for that shoe to drop They're waiting for it. I think they want to put her in a storyline in a program where we do like her as a wrestler doing that first, and then we get into the Wyatt Six, whatever we're going to do with that. But put her somewhere else, main event, winning chamber, thing like that. Not just shoving her right into the Wyatt Six right away.
Yeah.
But obviously that's inevitable and that's going to happen, I'm sure, at some point. Matt, what are your thoughts?
This was a little tough for me. I originally thought it was going to be Alexa at first. I was kind of doing process of elimination. Liv's a tag champion now. They're kind of keeping her relevant with Raquel and Judgment Day, putting the titles on. I honestly thought that was a pretty smart move last night to make that happen. Bailey and Roxanne's most likely going to be the direction for Mania. They seem to have good in-ring chemistry, and I think Bailey is kind of moving to the phase of her career where she's going to start putting over the younger girls that are coming up. Not that she doesn't have it anymore, but she's 30 plus. You know, she had her time as one of the 4 horsewomen. She's been a Grand Slam champion for the most part, with the exception of the new women's mid-card titles.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Bianca as like an outside shot to win, but that means you're putting Naomi against Jade Cargill. So do you really want that as a Mania match? Because I'm not knocking Naomi's talent. She can't really carry a match with somebody like Cargill. You needed an experienced wrestler that can, you know, lead the dance party, so to speak. And then I don't think Naomi has the chops to do it. I think she's good in a supporting role and she's good doing what she currently does. But we saw how she was a very lackluster champion a couple of years ago. And I just think that you're kind of booking yourself into a corner with the whole Jade Cargill thing. You want her back, you want her on the Mania card, but you're not gonna have her come back against Naomi because if Bianca wins. But I'm looking at everybody that's they're not gonna give it to Roxanne just yet. So Alexa makes the most sense because she doesn't really have a direction for Mania. You know, the Wyatt Sixes are hanging around the atmosphere of what's going on with her, but she's like the odd woman out for already having a purpose at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why she might win this. I'm not saying she should. I think it should be Bianca because Bianca and Rhea Ripley would be a fantastic main event.
Yeah.
For night 1 or night 2, you know, for the women.
Awesome. Mona, what are your thoughts?
This one was a little tough, but I'm gonna kind of go against what Matt said. I'm gonna shoot out for Naomi, and the only reason why I'm gonna say this is obviously they dropped their titles last night, so it shows that their storyline is gonna be different. I think Jade is obviously going to return, and whether it's this weekend or soon, and go, you know, it's gonna reveal who did it. I think Bianca attacked her, to be honest with you, but the only reason why I'm going with Naomi is because obviously she was upset with the women's division in the Vince era and walked out when she was a tag team champion with Sasha Banks. And I believe under Triple H's new era and then bringing her back, there was obviously some sort of agreement of, hey, we will give you a title shot or a title run down the road. And I think this is her opportunity to get it. And you will get what a lot of fans wanted was the Jade versus Bianca match, because they obviously were great friends throughout this whole journey since she's been on WWE. And they're going to give that match for WrestleMania. Naomi will face Rhea, but I don't think she will be successful in obtaining the championship. But I do believe she will win the Elimination Chamber.
Awesome.
I have a question for Mona, though.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
Okay. I mean, I respect the opinion, obviously. But if you're going to have Naomi win the chamber, do you really want her looking weak 6 days away and taking the pin in the tag match?
So here's how I look at it. No, and I respect that question. Is how many title switches are they going to have? Because I know they try to balance it, and I know they obviously look out for what the fans say, but I don't see Rhea dropping it, but I do feel like they will give Naomi that WrestleMania moment. So sometimes, and like you said, some of these wrestlers like Bailey are at a point where it's like, okay, there's got to be a shift in getting the younger talent in there. Obviously, Rhea's still young, but I just feel like they want to give her that WrestleMania moment. And I think she'll be happy with just that. Obviously, we don't know what happens behind the curtain, but maybe she's happy with just that WrestleMania moment. And I just don't see Roxanne because she's just new to the roster. Alexa Bliss, obviously, she just returned, but we don't know what her schedule is going to be as a new mom and a baby, and with a baby at home,
Mhm.
and with Bailey, obviously, like you said, she already said she wants to kind of work behind the scenes with the younger talent, and I think they want to see Jade and Bianca, so Naomi makes the most sense in this whole storyline with these female wrestlers.
That's fair. I was just curious because I
Yeah.
saw she ate the pin last night, and it's almost like 50-50 booking if you have her eat the pin to lose the tag titles, and then 6 days later you have her beating everybody in the Elimination Chamber. And it would be kind of a cool thing thinking about it now where Jay and Naomi are both main eventing for the World Championship.
But look what they did with Bailey, with all due respect. She won it at WrestleMania, dropped it at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
It was
that
it
is
was,
true.
It was,
Yeah.
it was a short reign. It was definitely a short reign.
So it's like, I think they're trying to give everybody their opportunity before this younger talent comes because, it.
NXT's loaded right now.
There you
That
go.
wave is getting bigger and bigger every
true.
week. Every
That's-
week. It's not a
that's gonna
joke
be
when they say it's one of the hottest brands out there right now.
That's
Everyone
going
wants
to be
go to
wild.
NXT.
There's five down there right now that are going to be show stealers.
Oh, it's
yeah.
gonna be awesome. They have such an embarrassment of riches down there. Oh, it's wild.
Yeah.
Jesse, what are your thoughts on the match?
So I'm thinking Alexa, and I actually called this a couple weeks ago when there was only 3 of them in there, and you asked me, John, I think, if I had to pick who I wanted or who was going to win it, I went with Alexa. And part of the reason that I think it's going to be Alexa is partially with what Mona said with Naomi and her contract and her coming back, is something was done in that contract in that very last moment to get Alexa to re-sign with the WWE, to get her to sign the day of the Rumble. And I think that it very well could have been giving her a WrestleMania match, which means I think she's going to win at Elimination Chamber. I don't think she's going to beat Rhea, but I think they're going to have Dark Alexa going against Rhea.
So with that being said, who do we whoever
I
wins?
kind of want
Go
to
ahead.
build off that.
Go ahead.
If they do have Dark Alexa facing Rhea at WrestleMania, then I can theoretically see the Wyatt Sixes getting involved in that to help Alexa win the title.
See, that's where I was going to go with that. See, anyone else but Alexa, I don't think Rhea wins. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't think Rhea loses. But if you put Alexa over to that, that's kind of not the blow off, because I don't think it's not the end by any means necessary. Right. But that's where her gloves have the play, the play pain. We know she goes to Mania to face Rhea. Look at the difference, first of all, in them. She's going to need something else to kind of help her along, and that's going to be the Wyatt Six. So I think if Alexa does win Saturday, it's kind of a foregone conclusion. I can't see her not winning the championship because it kind of doesn't make sense for the storyline. But that's just me. But my next question was going to be: do we see anyone beating Rhea? If it's anyone but Alexa, does anyone here see Rhea dropping the title at Mania? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
So if Alexa wins, I guess we know what's going to happen then. Awesome. So the men's chamber, I guess we'll start with that because it's kind of two-pronged. I want to talk about the Rock Cody storyline for a minute, but I want to talk about the chamber first, and then we'll get into that. Damian Priest, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, John Cena, and Drew McIntyre. This is looking like the Rumble. Such a star-studded chamber that we have on Saturday. Again, you take a look, a lot of pieces, a lot of people that can play off of each other depending on what happens in this match. Again, I'm kind of taking a long shot here. I calculated a long shot, not just – I think Damian Priest comes out of this chamber, and I think he gets his shot at Mania. I don't know. I would love to see it. I think him and Cody is a great setup. A lot of other guys in here have a lot of other stuff going on. Drew McIntyre, I think, goes more of a U.S. title direction. Not really the motion for him, but kind of take him out of that for now and kind of go over here, have that title for a bit. I think Damian Priest comes out here. I think he gets this win and he goes over to WrestleMania, taking on Cody Rhodes. Jesse, what are your thoughts?
So there's 2 people that I don't think are going to win. And it's not because of my hate for the man on your shirt. It's not for fucking Phil.
MJF loved this shirt, first of all, okay?
Oh, yeah. He loved
He
it.
loved it. He loved it.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't think Seth Rollins or CM Punk are going to win the Chamber. I don't. And at first I thought it was because they were going to set up something between the two of them at WrestleMania. But watching the promo last night between Logan Paul and CM Punk almost feels like they're setting something up for Logan Paul and CM Punk at Mania. So something in me says that Logan Paul is going to eliminate CM Punk from the Chamber.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
And that's going to set up something
All
for the
right.
future. But I can't talk about who I want to win without talking about the Rock and Cody promo. Because once I saw the Rock and Cody promo last night, my mind went in 7,000 different directions. And all I could think of was Homelander versus Peacemaker. That's all I could picture was Homelander versus fucking Peacemaker. And Cody Rhodes turning heel and taking up The Rock on his offer and going against a good old boy John Cena at WrestleMania. And so I'm going to go with John Cena.
Oh, John Cena. Okay. So you got Cena. I got Priest.
It's his last Mania. He's got to have a match. He's got to have a big caliber match at his last
He'll have a
Mania.
match. Doesn't mean he has to win the Chamber.
If
Okay.
Cody Rhodes sells his soul, that's where I think it's going to go.
All right. I like it. Mona, what are your thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts about this one. So I'm gonna. So here's where I'm having a hard time. Now I think it's either going to be CM Punk or John Cena winning. However, when I interviewed Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble, I asked him about John Cena, and his response was he's not rushing to raise his hand to face John Cena. However, I know it's not in his control on what happens. However, I don't feel like he's rushing to face him and allowing other talent to do that. But the only reason why Damian Priest had his moment, he had his title run. Seth Rollins, same thing. Logan Paul, I don't even know if he knows he's employed by WWE because he shows up whenever he wants. And Drew McIntyre had a title reign lasting as long as the TikTok band. And I don't know where they're going with him in that direction. But I do believe, obviously, John Cena seems like the favorite in this because it's his last one. It's his last Mania. Let's have him face Cody. But like Jesse said, you're going to have two baby faces facing each other. It is, you're not going to get the fans into it like you think. So if he was to sell his soul, yeah, I could see that happening. But I do see CM Punk winning, going to WrestleMania and calling Paul Heyman and saying, hey, that favor you owe me, it's happening at WrestleMania.
I forgot about that.
Don't forget about the favor. That's always in the back of CM Punk's pocket, man. I'm telling you, he has that favor ready to cash in. Vinny, what are your thoughts?
A lot of information to take in just from the previous two and from the previous three analyses that I just heard. And I think John Cena winning is too obvious because it's his last Elimination Chamber. Originally, I would have gone with Punk and have Punk and Cody, and it would still work out if Cody takes The Rock up on his offer and turns heel. Because Punk has been fighting for his dream to finish his story to main event Mania. But I agree. I think they could also go Punk and Logan Paul after last night's interview. So it could go really anyway. I would, if I was to hazard guess, I don't want Seth Rollins. That's absolutely not. I do not want him to win. I can get Damian Priest winning, have Damian versus Cody, but I don't think that'll draw, honestly. So I've just about eliminated everybody in the freaking match. So because of all that, I'm going to have to agree and go John Cena winning. I think he set up Cena and Cody. And if Cody does turn, I would want it to be at Mania. Have it set up, babyface for babyface, like Hogan and Warrior, WrestleMania 6. But at the end of the match, no matter what happens, Cody has to turn Hollywood and turn like Hollywood Hogan at Bash of the Beach.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the level of heel turn that it has to be.
I agree. It has to be something ginormous because we all know Cody does not like to be a heel. He is not a fan of it. Likes to be the face of the company, that white meat baby face.
Unless you turn Cena heel.
Right.
Unless it's a swerve. And you turn Cena heel.
And I thought about that. I go back to the press conference after the Royal Rumble where Cena pretty much is like, I don't want your questions. I don't want to talk to you. This is what I'm doing. I'm sick of this. I'm putting myself in the chamber. I'm not facing
This
anybody.
is what's best for business. This is what I'm doing.
And the fact that he said best for business has authority, dripping with authority.
Oh yeah.
And I think that, again, nothing is done on purpose right now, and there's a lot of breadcrumbs dropping around where we could go with this. So, last but not least, Matt, after we've all said our piece, what do you think?
Okay. I have quite a bit of thought put into this. I've been looking. I had the wheels turning all day, knowing that I was going to be here. But I think Rollins and Reigns is the direction for Mania. I think that double-footed stomp at the Rumble and Roman, being on the shelf right after that kind of sets the wheels in motion for that. I originally thought it was going to be Punk, but after last night, like Jesse said, I could see it being Logan. I could see him cashing the favor in with Heyman. I don't think that he's gonna get that Mania main event this year. It might be next year, but I don't think it's gonna be this year. Damian Priest is like the wild card to me because if he doesn't win, where does he fit on the Mania pay-per-view? PLE. They've already exhausted everything with Finn. They've already exhausted, the Drew rivalry. So who do you put him up against on the biggest show of the year? So you're kind of rushing a storyline out of that. I'm gonna go with Cena, but I have a theory as to why Cena's gonna win, and it ties into the Rock and Cody promo. We're gonna get heel Cody Rhodes. It may lead to Cody dropping the title to Cena at Mania, but you're gonna get a mix between the New Age Corporation and a WWE version of Bullet Club. And follow me for a second, because the Bloodline's pretty much disbanding. So Tama and Tonga Loa are going to be floating in the ether. They have a connection to Cody. AJ Styles is middling in the mid card right now. So AJ, Cody, and the Guerrillas of Destiny could form a corporate Bullet Club for The Rock.
Ooh.
So it's a stretch. It's a far stretch.
No, I'm here for it. I like that.
But
awesome.
If Cody being a heel by himself, you have the OG Bullet Club founder, or one of the OGs, Tama. You got AJ, who put him on the map, and then Tonga. You got those four. AJ is going to most likely see Braun at Mania, so it just makes a lot of sense if you want to. If Hunter's all about pulling storylines and roots from other companies, why not? Because Cody and AJ both led Bullet Club at one point. I know they're not popular anymore, but if you put a corporate spin circa Attitude Era on it, it gives Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa direction once that bloodline implodes. Because the story's pretty much over after Mania.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Solo and Jacob might be fighting each other. So so where does that leave them?
Right.
They're not going to be called the Guerrillas of Destiny in WWE.
No.
So they're going to be floating in the ether. You cut Anderson and Gallows. So that right there, you give them purpose to be henchmen for Cody. You use the Ring of Honor, you use the independent scene, you use New Japan as your foundation, and it takes AJ out of the main event scene and it puts him in the mid card.
Am I the only one that didn't pick John Cena? Is it
Probably,
Yeah.
really? I'm the only
Yeah.
one. Okay.
I said
because you
CM
want to
Punk.
be
Remember this
be
moment.
different.
I
Yeah.
always-
Mona said CM Punk.
Oh, I'm sorry, Punk. Right? I apologize. I'm sorry, Ron. I'm sorry. But that's so you hit the nail on the head. Even the fact of for all of us here, I've watched wrestling for so long. Like the moment The Rock started talking as far as like my champion, all I could go back is to VKM talking to either Stone Cold or The Rock in the middle of the ring. If you want to be the champion, you got to come be with it's the corporate champion. That's all it is. And The Rock putting his own great spin on it as he always does, bringing cinema to anything he does. So I think it's drenched in Attitude Era storylines from back in the day. If you want to get along, you go along, and that's kind of what The Rock is saying. You're great. If you want to be here, you got to be with me.
Yeah.
So we have our winners. Now let's kind of dive a little bit deeper into this. I want to talk about. I mean, we all kind of talked about it in and around if we think Cody's going to turn or not. Honestly, when Cody had the black hair, the kind of the edge to him, and we've seen the cracks in the armor, right? Ever since the title win, Cody's being more worn down, way more emotional, and not talking about dust or anything. Like just you can see it on his face. He's just getting beat up, and he's sick of it. And I talked about it with Jess earlier before we had our interview. You saw where that promo was going last night. He's like, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And this isn't just me. I'm talking to Brandy. I'm talking to everybody. My nephew. I have people coming into this business with my last name. I got to protect everyone. Then Seth obviously comes out and says, "Stop! Don't do this." We saw where this was going. Cody's already alluding to the fact of, I know this is going to be best for what's going on because he's tired. He's just everywhere he turns, he's sick of it. And he wants to not be. He said it. He doesn't want to be on the same path that Dusty had to do, 60-something years old on the indie circuit, bleeding, sweating, doing shows to support the family. Cody doesn't want that. Now, whether that's a swerve, we don't get that, I don't know. But I think the answer we get at an Elimination Chamber, that's the answer I'm going to post to you guys as I go around. I think the answer is going to be a no answer. The reason I say that is it's not going to be a yes, it's not going to be a no. Maybe there's an interruption, maybe we have a cliffhanger. But it's what the Vinny said. The payoff is going to be at Mania. And that's where we're going to get the decision if it's going to be a yes or a no. So I think Saturday, it's something to do where you go, well, no, he did, but he didn't. Either it's a look or something he does to somebody or not. And The Rock just kind of looks, and then we have to go another 50-something days till we get to Mania. But I think it's a no. The answer is a no answer on Saturday. But I do think eventually Cody turns. Cody doesn't want to do it, but when you do it in this way, now it's almost like the fans are like, oh, he had to do it. Don't do it, Cody. And there's people are still behind him, and they get why he did. Eventually, get the payoff down the road of him coming and breaking out of that and going back to the good old boy. But what are your thoughts Saturday? Do you think he eventually, whether it's at Mania or on Saturday, does Cody turn heel? Yes or no? Matt, I'll start with you.
I think I kind of answered at the end of my response to the Elimination Chamber. I think he does. I think just to kind of add layers to, the character. I honestly think the fans might be getting a little bit burnt out that are in the adult age range. I know a lot of kids and a lot of teenagers love Cody, but I think all of us that, don't really have the suspension of disbelief doesn't really apply to us anymore. I think we know Cody can be more effective if he brought some of what he did in Ring of Honor and New Japan over to the WWE. Now to round up my answer, honestly, the promo with The Rock pissed me off yesterday. Because I think back to the Netflix debut on January 6th and the forced friendship between them and the buddy stuff and where we left off with the final boss in 2024. And now it seems like The Rock is like almost bored, and now he's reinserting himself back into the equation. And I feel like he's like, originally it was reported that he wasn't going to be wrestling at Mania. And now he's inserting himself into a storyline a month away from the show, a month and a half away from the show. So you go out there and give that riveting, long-winded promo on Raw for Netflix's debut, and then a month and a half later, you get what happened last night. Oh, I want you to be my champion. Sell your soul kind of shit. Like, there's been nothing building up to that in between the Raw promo and this. He announced that he was going to be on SmackDown. I mean, on Raw. He announced that he was going to be there. What? 3 days before the show actually aired.
It was
So
the day before.
Like
yeah,
two.
Yeah, the day before.
It's like two.
so but it seems like he's in real life. He's kind of toting that TKO board membership over the writing team, and like, I'm gonna do this whether you want me to do it or not. I'm the boss. I'm a boss. So it's kind of giving me a like an off-putting vibe that they've been building so many good storylines leading into Mania. They got a lot of things going on, a lot of subtle hints. And I might be in the minority on the show that feels this way, but I feel like The Rock really kind of ruined Cody's groove heading towards Mania.
I'll push back a little bit. I understand what you're saying. I hear you. That you have a lot of good points on that. But I push back a little bit as far as he did wind in the Raw promo. And if you look at it, it's almost like you have to we know how the Rock operates. It's all about the storytelling. You have to look back to see forward, right? He got there, gave him that speech, did the whole thing, sharing Terramana, pouring everything, trying to get that friendship. The Rock realized, oh, wow, he is the champion. This is the guy. And The Rock's been gone for so long, watching everything going on, I'm talking to Ari, and Ari's telling me I'm the boss. I run WWE. Rock's been watching, and he sees Cody can't be stopped. So now The Rock has no other option, which has happened in the past in the Attitude Era, when the chairman has no other option, or the boss has no other option, but to accept that champion is the champion. I guess I got to buy that champion then to have what I need in control. I think that's kind of why he brought up Raw. He brought up the Sharon Terramana. He brought up Mama Rhodes and Mama Rock. We're all intertwined now. This is great. We're friends, right? He said that a couple times. We're friends. I want a brother. We're friends now, right? We're good. We're good. I'll be my champion. It's almost like it's like Monday night. It's like that Raw. He tried to. It was like a lulling him in almost. And Cody being like, yeah, we had a couple libations. We're good. We're having some fun. Our moms talk. It's like he's almost trying to lull him into us in a false sense of comfort. And okay, maybe I can trust this guy. Maybe he can give me what I need. That's how I saw it. I see exactly what you're saying.
I hear you, but there's been nothing in 6 weeks in between.
That it's one of those things where The Rock is all. That's why I think that's what him keeps saying, being the boss and talking to Ari. He's always watching. It's the big brother, the eye in the sky. Dwayne is always watching the product, and he sees Cody being the champion. We talked about it. Kevin made him look like a superstar at the Royal Rumble, and Cody over him holding those belts up, and Rock going, I can see he has that in him. He's got that he's got the edge to him now. Maybe I can bring him in. That's how I read it. Again, I'm in the storytelling mindset. Whenever something happens, I'm always going 3 months back and where did I see that? Oh yeah, wait, that makes sense. But I hear you too. What you're saying as well too, just popping up with not even like we still don't have like an answer to the 3 and the cutthroat. We still don't have any of that from an answer for that stuff. But I hear you too. But just popping up, it's okay. Mania's here, so I guess like Aldis said,
he was on TV almost every week leading up to Mania last year.
Yeah. So
he was on TV 3 or 4 times a month between the two shows heading into last year's Mania. That's where I kind of felt a disconnect, but I'm interested to hear what Mona and Jesse and Vinny have to say about this, because I know I took up a little bit of time. I apologize. But
please don't. That's what we're here for, man. That's what we're here for. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I can shut your mic up if I want. Don't worry.
oh, thank you.
Because I'm the final boss. Awesome, Vinny. What are your thoughts?
So here's the thing. I kind of like what they're doing with The Rock, almost like a Mr. McMahon character, from the Attitude Era. The only difference is that Vince was there every single week. I think, and even during the Authority era, Triple H and Stephanie were there every single week.
Mm-hmm.
In order for it to be successful, whether it's Cody or Cena turning, because I still think they could turn Cena too, and have it as a big swerve. The Rock has to be there every week. He has to be committed. And we all know with his Hollywood schedule, he's not going to be there every week. He could be the puppet master pulling the strings. He can come out and cut his 20-minute promos, as the final boss or whatever. But unless he's there every week to be part of that storytelling, it's not going to work. The reason why I keep bringing up Cena turning is because this is his final year. So there's a newer crop of superstars out there. Cody's the champion. How long was it that Cena had a win, a singles win, like something like 2,000 days or something?
It was something crazy.
Which was longer than Roman Reigns' entire, run as champion.
Yep.
So I think all that builds up, and Cena comes out and says, "You know what? I want to end on top. Like at the press conference after the Rumble, what's best for business." And it's going to end up being what's best for John Cena's business.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to end up being the money right there. Because how long were people clamoring for ages for him to turn heel during his run during 2005 to 2015?
Begging for a heel turn
all the time. He came out as a Dr. Thugonomics one time against Jey Uso. Against the Usos at WrestleMania.
Sometimes he would go and drop some bars on people if he needed to, but
not a full heel turn.
Right.
He can go ahead and do that now in his last year, go out on top, and next year he'll be the headliner for the Hall of Fame.
I like that. The only comment I have with that is what you say though makes the point of what The Rock is looking for. Has a Scorsese film coming up. He's going to be going away. Cody is the eyes, and he will be the puppet master, like you said. He's something done. Cody goes in, walks in, looks at all this, and goes, "Hey, just got a call. This is what's going down." And all this is like, "Oh, okay, no problem." So kind of like that's kind of what I think we're moving toward. But I think to what you're saying, I think that's kind of what Rock is trying to get at. Like, I can't be here, so I need someone here to kind of, run the place while I'm, I need eyes on, boots on the ground. I need someone to watch this place while I'm not here, or to do my bidding while I'm away.
Here's my thing. You go back to WrestleMania, what was it, 29, when Cena finally beat The Rock in their rematch for the title.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That earned The Rock's respect. So I think that, while he may have a tumultuous relationship with Cody, especially after last year, and, he's buttering Cody up, the ultimate thing would be to go with his opponent at Mania and have Cena turn.
I like it. Awesome. Jesse, what are your thoughts?
I definitely see heel Cody coming. I think good boy Cody is getting stale. It's getting boring. He needs to shake things up. And heel Cody is the perfect way to do it. Short and sweet.
And the thing is, if it does happen, I don't want it to happen one day, come out. I want it to start like in like
a
weeks.
Gradual.
I want the black hair, and then I want some darker suits, and then I want like maybe some kind of weird different music from the American Nightmare music, but just something like a little more hard rockish. But I think that's kind of where we're going. But if anyone knows anything about Cody Rhodes, I'm just leaving. I left Mona for last for this on purpose. Mona, what are your thoughts on what we're going to see in the next couple of weeks, whether it's heel or face? What do you think happens with Cody Rhodes in the next coming weeks, especially starting on Saturday at the Chamber?
The Cody doesn't need The Rock. The Rock needs Cody at the end of the day. The guy is obviously on the board, but the sell the soul type of thing, honest to God, my honest opinion on that was just, I am very big on reading what people say, rumors, all that. Obviously, everybody has an opinion, but there was a big opinion about everybody being mad that they never got The Rock versus Roman, and they're mad at Cody for it because we did the We Want Cody movement.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they just called Ari and said, "Hey, Rock, I need you to show up to SmackDown tomorrow. Cut a quick promo. Figure it out. I don't care what you do." But what was he gonna cut to Cody? That whatever he was angry about when he dethroned his cousin Roman Reigns, that should have happened after WrestleMania. But obviously, The Rock goes away. He's in Hollywood. He's got movies to shoot. So even if he was to sell his soul to The Rock, The Rock has no time to be around for Mania season. The only thing that can come to my mind for it to even make sense, but I highly doubt it, is they are cutting this promo and Roman shows up and turns his back on The Rock for even saying, why would you want him to be a part of be your eyes for this company when I'm here? I'm the head of the table, I'm the tribal chief. So to give you guys to give the fans that Rock versus Roman during Mania. But honestly, I think it was just a rushed, hey, go show up to SmackDown, and what kind of promo are you going to cut with Cody? Roman's obviously nowhere to be found right now. So honestly, God, I see Cody turning heel, but I don't think he'll be successful only because of the younger generation. Because I've studied Cody a lot and I've watched a lot of his stuff, a lot of his interviews prior to meeting him. And he said, like, he does this for the kids. And I don't know if he has it in him to do that, because if you look back at in a different promotion, AEW, for instance, when he was giving that belt away, people were throwing the belt back at him. And if you actually read his body language, that hurt him. And I don't know if he has the emotional capacity to handle fans hating him. Because we saw it fail in AEW. And I think a lot of that has to do with the reason why things started to fall apart, because he didn't like it. So as much as I'd like to see him turn heel, the older generation, I don't think it's going to be successful.
That's fair.
All very
That's really a fair
valid
point.
points. She's not wrong. He definitely, like I said, but I was prefacing with that. He does not want to be heel. He's made it very clear. He does not like it. It's just not comfortable to him. And he'd rather be a face. So yeah, Mona is 100% correct on that.
Well, how often was Dusty a heel? I mean, Dusty, the only time I remember Dusty being a heel was when he
trying to think
with the NWO.
That's it. And even then, it was cool to join the NWO at that point. Like
exactly. So
if you were in NWO, if you were in there, you're just a different color. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
you were white, you were red and black. It didn't matter. But at that point,
you're either OG or Wolfpack.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, white, black and white, or you're exactly. Like, that's a good point. Yeah, Dusty was never really a heel either. So I just don't know. I think it's good. It's good fodder. It's good teasing. I think it's going to be great TV for people. Saturday's going to go through the roof as far as people tuning in to see what happens with The Rock and Cody. Yeah, all awesome stuff, man. I mean, Cena winning would be amazing, but I'm going to die on this hill. Cena, if you know Cena, you know the story, and you know he has no problem taking L's, building a story. I personally think he gets number 17 this year. I think it happens at SummerSlam. I think whatever the program is, he doesn't win on Saturday. He has a match at Mania, whatever it is, does what he has to do, build up. He's going to enter Money in the Bank. He's going to lose that. John has no problem losing these matches because he knows he's just building up to an end, and the people will follow him on that journey just as they have these past 20 plus years. They know he's the ultimate underdog, and they know eventually he's going to get his comeuppance. I think that happens at SummerSlam, and he gets number 17. That's just my prerogative. That's what I think. But yeah, overall, from all of our opinions, I think this PLE is going to be amazing. Great stuff to watch. All the matches up and down so far. I don't think they add any more on Friday, so I think it's just his 4 cards. But as in under the Paul Levesque era, they let these matches breathe, which is awesome. I think the unsanctioned match is going to take some. Yeah, and I think the unsanctioned Tank is just killing you.
Lord. That dog.
Mona's new. That's Jesse's the dog Tank. He's like the unofficial mascot. Every show he's barking or like tackling her. Great.
Yeah, I got them both over here begging for something.
We're almost up on time anyway, but guys, thank you so much, Mona. It's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. We're definitely going to have you on again in the future. Awesome stuff. But I think we all can agree on it's going to be an awesome PLE this weekend as the last exit heading into WrestleMania. So 100%. With that being said, I'll start with obviously our newcomer Mona. For folks who don't know who you are, haven't seen you before, where can we find you on the socials?
I am at the One Mona all over all the social medias. Follow me there. I will be at Elimination Chamber this weekend, so keep a lookout for me, and hopefully I'll be around there. Give a question out to Cena if he wins the Chamber. Hopefully.
Awesome stuff, Matt. Where can we find you?
You can find me at mtrig_bir. We are getting ready to kick into full gear for Baltimore Orioles baseball season. We just had Ryan Ripken on and Mike Bordick in the last week, so we're ramping up our guests and we're getting ready. Got some sponsorship stuff that we're going to be announcing soon. So
Awesome.
looking forward to baseball season. And of course, anybody that's a football fan, Daniel Wilcox and I have a Ravens show. So just you can find me on my handle and I post all my content there.
Awesome, man. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate it, Matt.
You're welcome. Thank
Vinny,
you for having
where
me.
can we find you for those of you who don't know?
You can follow my Suds Media, Suds and Scored Circle Media, which is at Suds Media on Twix, and at Vinny Suds is on my personal page on Twix. So any combination of those, and YouTube is youtube.com/@suds-media, and also suds-media.com. So I'm all over the place, and I do a lot of soap operas. So it's the same type of genre as wrestling. So, tune in. We pull in a lot of live viewers on our Monday show, and next Monday we're actually doing a doubleheader. We're doing our regular Suds News at 8:00, and then we're doing Gate Crashers, which is going to be about Beyond the Gates at 10:00. So there's a lot.
Awesome. I have seen that. The viewership is going up on Mondays. That's awesome to see, man. You're killing it over there. It's only going to get better. So I'm excited for it. Jesse, where can we find you when you're not doing any given show on any given day with me?
Well, generally, you can find me some day a week here with John, either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whenever we have time. Or you can find me on X at Jess Skywalker 10 or on YouTube at The Lowdown with Princess Skywalker and John Anthony, which you can find on Wednesday nights following Dynamite.
Awesome. And for you folks that are watching this now, you probably see my face on your TV 5 days a week. If you haven't caught us earlier today, we had our interview with Shazza McKenzie, and tomorrow we have a great interview with Amber Nova as well at 7 p.m. And then at 10 o'clock, you can catch me with Jesse. At 10:30, you can catch us.
At 10:30, we have an interview with editorial Danny, who is responsible for all of the Julia Hart vignettes as she was coming back from her injury, as well as I believe she does the new AEW vignette intro into Dynamite.
Awesome. So tomorrow, just as much as a jam-packed day as it was today. So again, thank you so much to all of you. I appreciate you guys taking the time. This will not be the first time we all get together and talk about some PLE action, and we'll definitely talk to each other before Mania comes around. So Mona, have a great time Saturday in Toronto.
Yes, have fun.
If you're going to be at SummerSlam this August, I will be going there night 2. So if you're there, definitely got to catch up.
Yeah, we'll catch up.
Awesome. And for Matt, for Jesse, for Vinny, guys, I'm John Anthony. This has been a great presentation with Chair Shot Sports, guys. Have a great night, and you guys enjoy the show on Saturday.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Bye.